Hello everybody and welcome back to Camel Kingdom. This time we are not in the medieval area. I'm very sorry, but many of you have asked for it, and I also felt like it would be the best approach to first of all go back to the central plaza of Camel Kingdom and kind of connect all the areas. Many of you also asked if there will be episodes about the, making of the bridges and stuff, which do connect the Arabian area with the rest of the park. And yeah, I just started very randomly, to be honest. I thought, okay, let's do it maybe in an hour or something and don't even release an episode and just do a little bit of detailing in between, filling in the gaps and stuff. But all of a sudden I really got into a role, and I even have 2 episodes, to be honest, because it's already sped up quite fast. So this time it's I believe even 9 times or something. I usually went back to 7 times because it's I got to build a little bit faster, and the problem is if you go to 9 times, usually it is very fast and very difficult to follow for me in the commentary, but also for you watching it. But anyways, I have 2 episodes of filling in gaps. Those will be released within this week, so today and I don't know, Wednesday or something. And then on next Saturday we will finally start with the medieval area, which will be on the other hand side of this little lake area over here. So basically over here it will be started. But yeah, I still have to do some little things in between, but you can see already I'm trying to start to lay out the area a little bit differently than it was before. I wanted to have the connection of the water stream to the big lake, which separates the pirate area from the Arabian area. And as you can see, I had a huge struggle again with the pathing, but in the end it worked out to make this bridge very wide but also very narrow in terms of well, not that long actually. Also wanted to just make the path a little bit more fitting. I will also put in some little details on the right and left hand side of this area. So for example, we need some lockers and stuff, so I'm completely shamelessly gonna steal some other ideas because reasons, there is no big reason for that, but yeah, I just want to have some more realism aspects in the park. We will also have some backstage area, but I'm not gonna do this before the medieval area because I'm gonna release Camel Kingdom within the week on Wednesday, I believe, as a version 1, I would say, because we have 3 big areas already. This area will now, as you can see, feature also a track ride, which I wanted to fill in here to make this more like a little gentle area where you have the kiddie coaster, the bee coaster, you have the little flat ride with the teacups, and then you have the gentle ride, and you will also see some other nice stuff, but this will be in the next episode, unfortunately. But yeah, I also wanted to go in and make some more detailing, some more special things that make the park a little bit more alive. And also I'm trying to play around a little bit with the pieces in Planet Coaster I haven't used so much yet. So yeah, a lot of things going on here, and I enjoyed really those 2 episodes of doing just general detailing in between with no bigger concept, just go in and do whatever comes to your mind. It's also a nice addition to it, and I really felt after the Arabian area that this was very much needed for me, because I actually felt that the Arabian area is potentially the best area I ever did, but on the other hand side it also got me very exhausted because it's also potentially the most finished area I've ever done, and in the end it really, it gets hard to, it really gets hard to go in the very last detail when you have so many other ideas in mind already. And I'm very happy I did it this time, and I hope also that you'll like the final videos of it. I'm not quite sure if this episode is even out before the final videos of Camel Kingdom, Arabian area, sorry. Because there is a little bit of problem with the filming. It is, I have to do this all with a cheat engine to make it a really nice one for you, and then my billboards don't really work that well. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe I'm gonna exchange the billboards for the Starfield walls, because basically what I had as billboards in mind were just like desert scenes with a nice desert sky. But yeah, the problem is if you have the billboards and you want to play dark movies, it's very pixelated, it's very ugly, it's, you know, it does look very bad, to be completely honest, and thus I wanted to have a little bit more, you know, perfectionism in this, and so I have to go, I believe, with non-lit walls, and that means that you have to kind of light them somehow, and this doesn't really work that well, to be honest. I just struggled a lot making it look decent, so that's why the on-right, maybe even after this episode, that's basically the main reason. But yeah, it will be there, so don't worry, it will be there, or maybe it's even out already, then you can completely forget about what I've just said. It's, yeah, maybe just for a quick explanation why I'm a little bit confused in this, because I'm having a blast today on a Saturday. I have so many things to record today, so basically I'm gonna be prepare about 10 videos maybe for the next 2 weeks, and yeah, it's a little bit hard to already keep track on which comes when and stuff. And then there's also Planco Spotlights, which I haven't really mentioned on this channel so far, but if you haven't seen that yet, we launched a big channel called Planco Spotlights, where a lot of your famous and well-known Planet Coaster YouTubers like The Lady Designer, Geekism, Advo TV, ANO Gaming, Aston Wolf, Pixel West, and all the other guys you do know, Silverite of course, we all came together to form a group of people that dedicate our time and our effort to make some nice community spotlights, and everything we get out of it will be dedicated to Special Effect, which is a brilliant charity project that helps disabled people to have more fun in their lives by having the ability to play games again and have special controllers and stuff. And yeah, so this channel has been launched nearly a month ago, and we are doing nice spotlights of your creations out there, and we don't get anything out of it because we just do it for passion. And yeah, it keeps us busy, but it's a lot of fun to review stuff. And you know, we don't, the thing is, you know, we can even review copyrighted stuff, because you know, it doesn't matter, we can do it. And so you can send in everything you want to Planco Spotlights, and we can review it. So basically it's a very, very nice thing. If you haven't heard that, I will link it in the description if I do remember, and if not, type in Planco Spotlights and you will find it. But yeah, anyways, I would highly recommend to go there and watch some spotlights. But what I wanted to say is that I am also busy recording some spotlights today, and so yeah, in the end I will potentially record over 12 to 13 episodes today. You know, my girlfriend, she's away. I don't really know what she's doing, but I have a feeling that it's something to do with the marriage, to be honest. But anyways, I've got a lot of time today, so yeah, well, never mind. Back to what I'm doing here in the background. I could talk a little bit off topic because it's basically a lot of in-depth detailing. As I said, I just wanted to connect the areas, and I ended up with a kind of huge new area. Well, it's, I think, you know me, maybe a lot of you know me from Koali Beach, and basically what I did there is the same to The Lady and Sylph, and here I do it to me as well. Just, you know, I just wanted to fill in gaps and ended up doing a big building. Anyways, I think it's just for the good, and maybe I should explain a little bit more about this one. So, as you can see, this is the station of the track ride, and I wanted to have this raised up a little bit to keep the lower angle or the lower position of this area. You know, I just wanted to play around a little bit more in general in Planet Coaster with different heights. So, usually a normal theme park is a big flat thing. You don't have that many theme parks that are really mountainish. I believe in Spain there is one which has a lot of, you know, hills and stuff. Is it Busch Gardens? I believe it is, but is this in Spain? Oh gosh, I'm so confusing things right now. But anyways, it's definitely not Spain anyways. But yeah, what I wanted to say is that usually theme parks seem to be very flat, right? But I think there are two different things. Flat is not essentially flat, you know. It is also that you have different heights in a theme park, and you go to lower positions and higher positions, and then you can also play around with forced perspective a little bit more. So I just wanted to avoid that this park, the whole park, is just very flat and everything has the same level. So this is why the Arabian area is also raised up a little bit. The Main Street is, so to say, the ground level. The pirate area is a tiny little bit lower because it's, you know, it's a pirate area is very close to the sea, and it's potentially very low, so at sea level. And you know, this is basically why I wanted to keep this little hole in here, which is a little bit deeper. So imagine if you are in the park that you can't see too much from this area over there, but it's also a little bit, you know, if it's a little bit windy or stuff, you can still sit down there because it's a little bit more secured. And also this is a little kids area, so you want to make sure that you also have your kids safe in this area. So yeah, that was basically the thought of keeping it a little bit lower, and it was just a big mess of grass before, so I wanted to have something that is also blocking the views to the outer world a little bit. So this is why I chose to make this station over here, which blocks basically the view from this area towards what will be someday the backstage area, and also a little bit of the Beehive coaster, because it you know, I wanted the Bee coaster a little bit more cozy in the backyard, so that you really go through this little gate over there and you enter the little Beehive. And this is, you know, this is covered in trees and a little forest, so you can't really watch or look outside of this little forest, so it is, you know, safe in that kind of sense. The only exception might be the tower of the little windmill, because if you are on the highest spot, you will definitely be able to look over some walls and stuff, but you know, it is what it is, and theme parks usually it's the same. And yeah, you can see also Rudy's foliage is coming into play now. You know, I made this also with a reason, so I can use this also in other parks. Yeah, but now I experienced myself, maybe it's a little bit too poly heavy, so I wanted to avoid using too many of those, because, you know, one flower of 30 or 40 pieces itself is not too much, but if you copy it around a lot of times, it is also, again, very quickly about 1,000 pieces just for a flower bed, and yeah, it might not be the most intelligent thing to do when you already have performance issues. Anyways, but you can see that the area is shaping up already a little bit more now. I wanted to have this little backstage way over here already, where you can see there, at the beginning of this episode I placed the staff building over there. I will make a little fence thingy before this one, because at the moment only staff will go there. So basically I positioned the staff building on a position where there is nothing else interesting for the guests, so only the staff members will go there. And I will also try to focus a little bit more on staff management in the future. But you can see already I wanted to somehow make it still a nice looking area, because the track ride will still be in this area, so you shouldn't get the feeling that you're already going through the backstage area with this track ride. So that's basically why I'm still doing a little bit of detailing around here. I mean, you know, it's still a little path, but what you quite often see with those track rides in actual theme parks, if they are not in the center of the park, they're quite often going a tiny little bit towards the outside world a little bit, sometimes even through backstage areas, and then they guide you back. So yeah, that's basically what I also wanted to create with this one, and also to make it very narrow, play a little bit around with the queue and the exit. It should interact a little bit more with the coaster, so that you can really have a nice and decent look on the coaster. So you leave the station, you turn to the right hand side, look a little bit on the forest, and then you turn again to the right hand side, and you have a perfect look toward the windmill where the coaster is released. And so it, you know, if little kids with their families jump on this track ride, they will also be a little bit more excited for the Bee coaster if they haven't been on it already. So, you know, even though it was a little bit just YOLO and doing a little bit of a random build, I still tried to spend in some thoughts of making it somewhat realistic, or at least potentially realistic, because Camel Kingdom is definitely not a realistic park, but yeah, as far as it could work, I just wanted to make sure that it does work somehow. But yeah, as you can see, also a little bit of detailing around this little bridgey area, because it's also another thing, I guess. You are beneath this little tunnel thingy, and on the left hand side there is the exit way of the track ride, and if you go to the right hand side there's the entrance to the B coaster, and if you go straight you are in the exit of the B coaster. So everything is connected. What you can also see quite often, for example in Phantasialand, that sometimes very little squares do have a lot of interaction with some exits and some queue entrances and stuff. I think it makes the overall experience a little bit more nice, but yeah. Also this one is quite interesting. I wanted to make this little balcony over here, which is also kind of a little view spot. If you go on top of this one, you can look down into the little seating area, and you can look to the left hand side, or just a little bit 45 degrees to the left. You can have a nice view of the main street. And if you turn around, you can look across the little lake towards what is in the future the medieval area. So this is also a little rest area where you can sit down and have some, you know, nice moments. But also the little track ride is going beneath that one, so it's, yeah, I think it's quite interesting to have this interaction with the little balcony thing on top. But yeah, that's basically what we can talk about the first episode of this little detailing. As I said, there will be still a little bit of detailing going on around the lake, and also around this little area, what you can see in the middle of this little lower down area. But you can also see now here with the overview, when I'm just trying to look a little bit more on how it is, you know, laid out, that there is still a little bit of potential left to make it a little bit more, yeah, a little bit more detailed still. I'm not quite satisfied with the level of detail. But anyways, that should be it from my side with this episode. See you then in the next one, and afterwards we are finally going into the medieval one. As always, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it, and then I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye!